I'm Mikkel Shaw, Vice President of Marketing at Overstock.com. And this track is sponsored by Overstock and Medici Ventures. Please join me in a round of applause welcoming our panel.
Thanks very much and welcome everyone. So my name is Brad Williams. I'm Director of the Entrepreneurship Program up at the Eckel School of Business at the University of Utah, where I also teach. But first, before we get started with individual questions, I kind of want to just ask the entire panel, like, how do you guys define brand? And also tell us maybe a little bit about your current company and your own brand that you're working with. And why don't we kick it off maybe down on the far end with Beau?
Sure, thanks, Brad. So how I define brand, I think lots of times people think about brand as like a logo or a name. And that's certainly part of it, right? That's part of your brand identity. But when I think of brand, I just think of the external manifestation of your company.
Jason? Thank you, Beau.
All right. Yeah, my end, brand for me it's more than your product. It's more than your logo, like Beau said. To me, it's about a community and making people feel like they're a part of something greater. I think when you can do that, you can charge more for your products. You can charge a premium price. People are going to come back because they, trust your brand. And if you're building community, it means you're building trust. So I think that's a huge part of it for me.
Thank you. How about you, Liz?
I would just say brand and Albion is just our culture, our community that we've built there, the people that we work with each day, and that message that we're trying to spread out, whether it's on social media or on our website or in person at our stores. It's just who we are, what we believe in, and why we love it.
Yeah, we weren't the first sock brand by any stretch. There are a lot of cool sock brands out there doing crazy socks. I think what we did is we really thought about the why of what we were doing and what we wanted to do. We wanted to really champion this idea of creative self-expression, both through the products we created, the people we work with, the content we create, the narrative that we put out in the marketplace, and that, I think, people were able to connect with it emotionally.
We get excited about a brand, or we get excited about whatever, and then we go and we buy the product, and the packaging gets thrown in the trash, or hopefully recycled, and we're doing some packaging right now for Allbirds that's going to get buried in the ground and composted. And so, yeah, but the packaging's gone, right? And at the end of the day, what you're left with is the product. And so the physical product, or the physical manifestation of that brand, is the part that stays with you, that you use every day, that you put in your pocket, or you even put on your body and wear. And so the product itself has to be well designed. There's no room, there's no margin for error. The product has to be just right. And when it's just right, then it's like the product becomes a day-to-day advocate for that brand, the brand that invested in the design process to be able to create the right product.
Honestly, from day one, I think when we were considering, what we wanted Albion to be, we just figured the best thing to do would just to be ourselves. And we just wanted to be as genuine and as sincere in our message as possible. And for us, that just meant reflecting what our culture is. And we really try to make sure that our community understands that we're all about empowering women, supporting women, and helping women feel beautiful and confident. And it's so easy to do when you've come from friends and family who have done that for you your whole entire life.
But brand is it's a long game. I mean, you gotta plant the seeds, and I think part of that is what? I mean, you gotta know your why, and you gotta stick with your why, but you also need to listen to the customers and the consumers. Because I think you get so focused on, I know this better than anybody, this is my brand. But I think the more you can actually take the data you're learning from your consumers and pay attention to the consumers and show them that you actually do care and you're making a big difference, then it goes back to my point of building community, which then strengthens the brand.
You've created this brand that people love, and they love what you represent, and they love the message that you're sharing. And then all of a sudden, we can say that marked maybe isn't the most important thing, what that logo looks like, but then all of a sudden you wear that logo, and that's all that matters. You can wear a black sock or a white sock, but you've got that Stance logo, or you've got that Albion mark on your swimsuit, and you're legitimized, like you're part of a team, that's who you align yourself with. And I think that if you do it right, if you create that brand, if you created that community, you can put that mark on your product, and people are going to be proud to wear it, whether it's a white sock or whatever,
Pink socks. I mean, one thing I think we haven't hit on, when they build, the trust is built, people start to recognize the brand. I mean, I think we've, our own direct consumer is huge, but these retailers start to notice your brand, and then they start wanting your brand, and I think that's that's a major validation piece. When the retailers now start calling you, the ones that maybe you reached out to 2 years ago, and they were like, nah, and now they're coming knocking at your door, so then you kind of hold the keys, I think that's a big deal.
We didn't have a lot of marketing resources and capital to expend in brand awareness, but there was this funny little app that started called Instagram right when we started. That's just one example where it just opportunistically appeared, and we were like, whoa, this works great. Let's do it. Socks and words, cool.
I would just add, too, that I think going back to being authentic and genuine, Instagram made sense for you. It made sense for us. What makes sense to your customer? Where are they? I mean, for us, our customers were playing tennis. They were on the golf team. They were at the hair salons. They were running marathons. So that's where we went. We sponsored races, and we sponsored tennis teams, and we were at the PTAs. And I just think you have to be willing to put in the work, and a lot of it is footwork, and we still do that today. And we have a blueprint that we use for every single store. This is how we did it.
The one word I want to say is context. Always think about the context in which your customers and your partners, and your hopeful partners, experience and have contact with your brand, and that makes a big difference whether they treat it with greater weight and greater respect or less.
I think to summarize from what I gained from these powerful brands is authenticity, how important that is to know who you are, who your customer is, and relate to them and stay true to that while being proactive to changes. Thank you so much to everybody who came out. Please join me in one more round of applause for this panel.